We move to this now. The South African Federation of Trade Unions President Ruth Tlokotse has been expelled as a member of the Federation's largest affiliate. That's the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa. This comes after a disciplinary inquiry where she was charged with misconduct. She joins me now for a discussion on this particular matter. A pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. Now you described that the leadership of Numsa have demonstrated their contempt for the interests of workers by indeed holding this hearing at the very same time that you, together with fellow shop stewards represented in the 387 workers in a CCMA matter facilitated by that S189 process. Those workers are also threatened with mass retrenchment as well as a possible closure of the company. Explain this matter further for us.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is an unfortunate situation that is taking place during the month of May, the month that is dedicated to workers. And, you know, the fundamentals of this month is for fairness, whether in a workplace, wherever you are. But as a worker, what is central about this month is that fairness is very key, and people lost their lives sacrificing for this month to be dedicated as the month of workers, let alone the 1st of March. And the unfortunate part is that when we celebrate the May Day, others are seated somewhere with an intention of collapsing what workers seek to achieve at the end of the day. Going back to the question that you posed to me is that indeed on the 24th of March, our company where I'm employed, I work for Johnson Matthey, we are in a process of a Section 189A facilitated process by the CCMA. The company contemplates to close the company. And as a result of that, 387 permanent employees are affected. We've got subcontractors, the cleaners, the canteen, the security that are also impacted. So in totality, workers that will be impacted by this decision, there are more than 500. And indeed, I was served with the notice to attend a disciplinary hearing.
Yeah.
And then after we agreed on the date, I submitted the letter to the General Secretary of Numsa, Ivan Jim, that I'm unable to attend because of the facilitated process that was taking place. He never responded to that email that I sent it to him. And I was shocked to hear by some of my colleagues when they indicated that the outcome from the disciplinary hearing was presented on the National Executive Committee that took place on the 3rd and the 4th, where the expulsion was confirmed. And in a nutshell, what is central about this expulsion? It is centered around the judgment of Mushwana, where last year I challenged my suspension and the 53 of other members who were suspended by the union. And we know that the court agreed with me. Justice Mushwana went to an extent of even interdicting that Congress. What we did immediately after that, I think now in April, we submitted the Section 158 application, which seeks to nullify the decision of that Congress, because we are of the firm view that that Congress took place under the auspices of an interdict. I filed that papers together with other members, and I am an applicant. And another reason that is also central about this expulsion, it is centered around, we've got members that went to the Department of Employment and Labor, which is the register, complaining about the financial mismanagement that is taking place within Numsa. So that is also central. And I can tell you that the worker control and democracy within the union, it is no longer there. There are members that are complaining about accountability, and I'm one of those members that are complaining about accountability. And just to illustrate that, the element of democracy allowing members at the shop floor, members from the local, from the region, to speak to the direction issues, provide direction to the issues that the union is embarking upon.
Yeah. My
expulsion was never subjected to the structures. The elites happened to sit, and when they sit, they took a decision to expel me from the union. But I'm going to appeal because of I am the person who believes that the constitution must be followed to the letter. And another thing that I can also indicate that is related to my expulsion on this matter, it was purely to dislodge me. So that when we arrive in court, all these applications, remember that they are also appealing that judgment of Justice Mushwana that interdicted the Congress. They wanted to dislodge so that when the court pronounced on the date, my status should be questionable. And going back to the charges that the charges were leveled against me, Numsa, I'm very much content that I need to be provided with an opportunity so that I respond to those charges. But because of their frivolous, and I can be able to present my case. And
Ruth, we are fast running out of time, but you speak about this process as one that you deem very unfair. But you've also been accused of playing delay tactics. I'm taking this from Mr. Charlie Higgs, who, of course, was the chairperson in your hearing. Let's speak about the course of action that you're about to take next. Are you going to be challenging your expulsion?
I mean, how can I sacrifice not to represent the members that elected me as a Shofjuat? I owe my allegiance to the workers who represented me on the plant. And these are Numsa members. And by Numsa portraying itself as a union that is championing the interests of members, it should be the focus of defending members, that more than 500 members whose their jobs will be affected by the notice of the employer to contemplate the closure of the company. So for the union, which is Jim in this particular instance, to argue that these are delaying tactics, I mean, I owe my allegiance to the workers who represented me.
Unfortunately, we have to leave it here. That's Ruth Ntlokosa. She's the suspended Numsa president as well, saying that she will indeed challenge her expulsion from Numsa, the union there.